You've probably tried to share files online, but it just wouldn't work. Well, today we're going to be talking about different solutions and different ways that you can share files at full quality or at least very high quality. Starting off, it is very simple: online cloud server storage. So if you have a Google account, then you'll have access to Google Drive, or you can make an account for OneDrive, which is Microsoft's cloud storage, or you could do Dropbox, or there's many other platforms. These are just like the top 3 most popular ones that I know about. All you have to do is make an account, log in, and then upload your file to a folder. When you upload it to that folder, all you have to do is share. So it will look a little different on most of these websites, but they will have the same concept of you press share, and then you can choose to share via a link. From here, you can edit it and make sure that the person you're sharing it to is only a viewer. Unless you want them to be able to edit the actual file where they delete it off of the cloud server storage, or they can go ahead and add more videos to the folder, then you want them to be a viewer. Because in this way, they can see the video file and they can download it, but they cannot do anything else that would affect the folder on the cloud server storage. All you have to do is send them the link, then they go ahead, click the link, and then they can download it from there. One other solution is to text these files. Now, if you have Android using SMS, I believe, it will compress it a lot. So make sure you both have iOS devices, or you both are using a third-party messaging app, such as I believe WhatsApp or Telegram allows for larger file sizes. I believe the same is for GroupMe, but I cannot say for sure because I do not really use these apps for this purpose. From here, you send the file and they will be able to download it. I don't know the exact limit for all of the different ones, but they will either compress it or tell you that you're sending too large of a file. If this happens, you can also cut up the video into a few different pieces and then send it to them this way. This will allow them to be in smaller file sizes at once and will reduce some of the compression. Only problem here is that they do have to be put back together, and it will just cause a lot of cuts, and it might just be a little bit awkward to do it and much more time consuming. So another solution here is to upload to YouTube. Now, I would not recommend this method because there are different things that can go wrong. Well, first off, it always compresses the video. So there's a lot of moving stuff. There's like confetti or snow that you can see, or just bunch of different elements that are moving around a lot. It can get a little bit blurry, but if it's just like me, how I'm talking to the camera right here, it's not going to be a problem at all. It will look pretty good. Now, the other problem here is that when they download it, they're probably going to be using an online YouTube video to file converter. And the problem here is that these websites usually have a lot of ads on them, and most of them aren't particularly good. They might lead to malware, or they just might not be a very appropriate ad. So that's the only other step that I'd say is a problem here. But if both of you know how to navigate this, maybe you have an ad block or something, then it generally helps a bit and will keep you a bit safer when doing this. But still, I would say do this as like a last ditch effort if none of the other stuff is working, which should pretty much never happen. Now, this last way is you record the video files.
This is a bucket.
It's on the camera through an SD card if you're using a dedicated camera. And if this is the case, then what you can do is you can pack it up in the dead of night and then mail it to them, or have them receive it via a package. Now, this is a joke. If you are within very close proximity, you can give it to them in person, but you only really want to do this if you are needing it in a very short time span. For instance, the church I go to, I'm part of the media team, and I usually help with the cameras. And in this situation, there are 2 campuses, so 2 different buildings that this church has. The main church building where I help out at, we record the service, and then for a while we would send that file over to the other campus, where when for us it was the second service, but for them it was their first service, where they would just play the video on their screens. Now they have a pastor specifically for that building, but for a while that's what we did. And we couldn't send it online because the Wi-Fi out there was pretty slow, and even the Wi-Fi in the main building was a little slow, and so it would just take too long. There wouldn't be enough time between the services for them to download it and then get to the correct spot. So we would send them a drive, so it would record it straight to a USB drive. But if you're using, let's say, a SD card through a camera, you could also do this. And it's like a 15-20 minute drive to the other campus. So what we would do is somebody would come near the end of the service, and then we would take that drive, give it to them, and then they would drive back to their campus, and from there they were able to play it very smoothly. So this is the only reason I would say do physical handoffs, but if you have the option, if it's not time consuming, try these online methods instead. They're very simple. And if you have a Google Drive and it's full, go ahead and make a Dropbox account. If that's full, make a OneDrive account. If that's full, there's so many alternatives that you can use. Just make sure you don't forget your password or forget which email you used. So this is different ways to share files online. Thank you for watching and have a great day.